Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. About 80% polling recorded in 8th phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Centre clarifies there is no GST on sale of complexes and flats having completion certificate. Japanese Parliament approves legislation allowing foreign workers to ease labour shortage. In sports, India enter quarter-finals of Men's Hockey World Cup after thrashing Canada 5-1. In another group match, Belgium beat South Africa 5-1. And in Adelaide Cricket Test, India stay firmly ahead of Australia with a 166-run lead on the third day. In Jammu and Kashmir, overall 79.9% polling was recorded for the 8th phase of Panchayat elections held today. In this phase, voting took place in 32 blocks from 13 districts. These include 18 blocks of Jammu region and 14 blocks in Kashmir Valley. According to the Chief Electoral Officer Shalin Kabra, 85.1% polling was registered in Jammu division and 49.6% in Kashmir division.
Riyasi district recorded all-time high 89.8% polling, followed by 84.8% Jammu district and 84% each in Kuthuwa and Samar district in the 8th phase today. Border district Rajouri recorded 82.4% polling. In Kashmir Valley, maximum 56.9% votes were polled in Baramal district, followed by 53.8% in Frontier district of Kupwara. 9th and last phase of Panchayat polls will be held on December 11th. R.K. Raina, AR News, Jammu.
The counting of votes is underway and results are expected by tonight or tomorrow morning. The Uttar Pradesh government has transferred the Senior Superintendent of Police SSP of Bulandshahr district, Krishna Bahadur Singh. Mr. Singh has been attached to the DGP's office in Lucknow. This comes after violence erupted in the district on Monday over alleged cow slaughter, in which Police Inspector Subodh Kumar Singh and a villager were killed. Our correspondent reports one circle officer and a station in charge have also been transferred.
The action by state government came after an investigation report was submitted by ADG Intelligence S.V. Shirodkar in the case yesterday. The SIT is also investigating the matter. Total 9 persons have been arrested so far. Meanwhile, DM of Bulandshahr, Anuj Kumar Jha, has clarified about the media reports regarding issue of notices to Ijtima, religious congregation organizers. Speaking to AIR, he said that notices were issued on 1st and 2nd December and they were specific about the surpassing of numbers of the people attending the congregation. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Police teams have been sent to Jammu and Kashmir to arrest an army soldier Jitu who was allegedly seen in video footage of the violence and was named in the FIR. PRO to DGP Rajendra Gautam told AIR that efforts are also on to nab the main accused Yogesh Raj in the case. The centre today clarified that there is no GST on sale of complexes, buildings and ready-to-move-in flats where sale takes place after issue of completion certificate. Ministry of Finance in a release said that GST is applicable on sale of under-construction property or ready-to-move-in flats where completion certificate has not been issued at the time of sale. The ministry also issued a detailed table on effective rate of tax and credit available to the builders for payment of tax for pre-GST and GST regime. It said builders are required to pass on the benefits of lower tax burden to the buyers of property by way of reduced prices or installments where effective tax rate has been down. BJP President Amit Shah has said Indians have the first right on the country's resources. Addressing a conclave of Hindi daily Dainik Jagran in New Delhi this evening, he justified the findings of the National Register of Citizens NRC in Assam. He said the NRC has to be strengthened to identify and deport the illegal entrants from all over the country. He said demonetization was a right step to strengthen the national economy. Dishonest elements were identified and their massive ill-gotten wealth came to light. Mr. Shah was hopeful that his party will form the governments in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan after declaration of the election results on Tuesday. He said Rafale was an absolutely honest deal and corruption allegations of the Congress are entirely baseless. Mr. Shah reiterated the government's commitment to root out corruption wherever it exists. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said political parties must evolve a consensus on the code of conduct for their members, both inside the legislature and out of it. He said otherwise people might soon lose faith in the political processes and institutions. Releasing 2 volumes of selected speeches of President Ramnath Kovind, the Republican Ethic and Loktantra Ke Swar in New Delhi today, Mr. Naidu said the President has always called for inclusiveness and raised concern for the downtrodden.
Since the last 15 months that Sri Ramnath Kovind ji has been President of India, he has been speaking about the need for inclusiveness, which is the essence of India. I have been following his erudite address in which I find an earnest call for inclusiveness.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj said President Kovind's knowledge and command over diverse topics shine through his speeches. Information and Broadcasting Minister Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore described the occasion as one of the proudest moments for Publications Division to be able to publish President Kovind's speeches and preserve them. In his address, Prasar Bharati Chairman Dr. A. Surya Prakash said the President's speeches reflect his simplicity and concern for fellow citizens. The death toll in the bus accident in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir has risen to 13. 17 persons have been injured in the incident. The condition of some of them is stated to be critical. The mishap occurred in Mandi Tehsil when a bus fell into a deep gorge in Palera area this morning. Governor Satyapal Malik has expressed grief over the loss of lives in the accident. He announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees to the next of kin of the deceased and 50,000 rupees to each injured person. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in.
Janadesh. Results of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Rajasthan and Telangana Assembly elections. On Tuesday, 11th December 2018. Live and balanced analysis from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Special Radio Bridge program connecting the 5 poll bound states between 9:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Tune in to FM Gold, Rajdhani Channel and National Network of All India Radio.
In Japan, Parliament has approved a new law allowing hundreds of thousands of foreigners into the country to ease labour shortage. From April next year, foreigners will be allowed to take up jobs in sectors such as construction, farming and nursing. The law creates 2 new visa categories. Workers in the first category will be allowed in for 5 years if they have a certain level of skill and some proficiency in Japanese. Workers with higher level of skills would qualify for the second visa category and would eventually be allowed to apply for residency. Japan has traditionally been wary of immigration, but the government says more foreigners are needed because of Japan's aging population. Sri Lanka's Supreme Court has concluded its hearing on the petitions filed against the dissolution of Parliament by President Maithripala Sirisena. The judgment is expected early next week, while the stay order on dissolution has been extended till Monday. The 7-judge bench heard the matter for 4 days with submissions of both sides, including the Attorney General who represented the President. More from our correspondent.
All sides in Sri Lankan politics are waiting for the court judgment, which is to come next week. While a judgment in favor of dissolution will pave way for early elections, it has to be seen how things proceed if it is against dissolution. President Sirisena has repeatedly said that he will not reappoint Ranil Wickremesinghe, though he has the majority. There are some back-channel negotiations also to break the impasse, but things will crystallize after the judgment only. Both sides are trying to rally public support, with Mr. Wickremesinghe's supporters demanding restoration of democracy and constitutional principles, while Mr. Rajapakse's supporters are trying to build support for early elections. Santosh Kumar for AIR News, Colombo.
In France, police today fired tear gas on protesters in Paris as a fourth weekend of protests against increase of fuel tax turned violent. About 5,000 demonstrators gathered in the city centre and at least 211 people have been arrested. The movement opposed soaring fuel prices, but government sources say it has been hijacked by ultra-violent protesters. The French capital saw its worst riots in decades last weekend. Meanwhile, the French government has said it is scrapping the unpopular fuel tax increases in its budget and has frozen electricity and gas prices for 2019. Back home in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked firing on Indian posts at Sundarbani sector of Rajouri district this morning. According to defense forces, Indian troops guarding the borderline retaliated effectively. The exchange of fire was going on when reports last came in. No loss of life or property was reported from the Indian side. Meanwhile, 2 police personnel were injured in the ongoing counter-terrorist operation in Mujgund area on the outskirts of Srinagar this evening. Security sources said a cordon and search operation was launched by a joint team of Army, Police and CRPF after specific inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be hiding in the area. Details are awaited. A total of 427 gentlemen cadets took part in a colourful passing out parade today after completion of their training at the Indian Military Academy, IMA, in Dehradun. Vice Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Devraj Anbu, reviewed the parade at the Chetwood Drill Square. We have a report.
This year, highest number of 53 cadets were from Uttar Pradesh. It was followed by 51 from Haryana, 36 from Bihar, 26 from Uttarakhand, 25 from Delhi, 20 from Maharashtra, 15 from Himachal Pradesh, 14 from Punjab, 12 from Jammu and Kashmir, 10 from Madhya Pradesh and 8 from West Bengal. The 80 foreign gentlemen cadets who passed out of the academy represented 7 friendly nations including Afghanistan, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Tajikistan and Vietnam. The display was witnessed by a large gathering of spectators which included the passing out course, their parents and relatives. Abhishek Mukhopadhyay, News Desk.
India has all the resources and scientific knowledge to make the national mission on cyber physical system a success. The mission, which was approved by the Union Cabinet on Thursday, will also create thousands of jobs for talented youth in the near future. This was stated by the Secretary in the Department of Science and Technology, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, today. In an exclusive interview to AIR, he explained how the system will apply in different ministries for their benefits. The interview can be heard on FM Gold and Rajdhani channel from 9:15 tonight. In sports, India have entered the quarterfinals of the Men's Hockey World Cup. In Bhubaneswar this evening, the hosts thrashed Canada 5-1 in their last Pool C match. With this win, India and Belgium have 7 points each. However, India is at the number 1 spot due to goal difference. Belgium is at the 2nd position, Canada is 3rd, and South Africa 4th. Earlier in the evening, Olympic silver medalist Belgium thrashed South Africa 5-1 to remain in the hunt for a direct quarter-final berth. In cricket, India were 151 for 3 in their second innings at stumps on the 3rd day of the opening test against Australia in Adelaide today, extending their overall lead to 166 runs. Cheteshwar Pujara on 40 and Ajinkya Rahane on 1 were at the crease when stumps were drawn. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. About 80% polling recorded in 8th phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Centre clarifies there is no GST on sale of complexes and flats having completion certificate. Japanese Parliament approves legislation allowing foreign workers to ease labour shortage. In sports, India enter quarterfinals of Men's Hockey World Cup after thrashing Canada 5-1. In another group match, Belgium beat South Africa 5-1. And in Adelaide Cricket Test, India stay firmly ahead of Australia with a 166-run lead on 3rd day. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.